Hey, I'm Matthew, 32, a property manager in Raleigh, North Carolina. Every dawn, I'm up, checking tenant emails, sipping burnt coffee from a corner shop. My truck rattles past oak-lined streets, humid air clinging to my skin. It's a grind, keeping my 3 apartment buildings alive, my parents' legacy. But my brother Jackson? He's the golden boy, always stealing the spotlight at family barbecues, his laughter cutting deeper than his jabs. I'm the shadow, the one who tries too hard. Their deaths left me broken, and Jackson's betrayal? It nearly destroyed me. Here's what happened. After Mom and Dad died, I poured my soul into our 3 Raleigh apartment buildings. I spent $20,000 from my savings, every cent I had, on new plumbing, fresh paint, anything to keep their dream alive. 70-hour weeks, my hands calloused, the smell of sawdust in my nose. I was drowning, but it felt right. Jackson? He was too busy, always in his shiny Tesla, rocking designer sneakers, borrowing $500 here, $1,000 there, never paying me back. You're the responsible one, Matt, he'd grin, his cologne sharp enough to choke. Family meant everything to me. To him? Just a game. I trusted him. That was my mistake. Jackson was secretly listing my apartments on some sketchy short-term rental app, pocketing $2,500 a month. My buildings, my sweat, his profit. I found out later, but the signs were there. Tenants complained about weird bookings. I'd shrug it off, too exhausted to dig. One night, Jackson came by, all charm, tossing his keys on my desk. "You're too soft, Matt. This is how you win," he said, smirking. The air felt heavy, like a storm brewing. I didn't know he was stealing from me, betraying everything our parents built. I'd catch him at barbecues, charming aunts and uncles, while I hauled trash bags, invisible. His laugh was a blade, slicing open old wounds, Mom praising his big ideas, Dad calling me steady. Steady meant nothing. I gave up dreams of college, poured my life into those buildings. Jackson gave nothing, took everything. The musty scent of old leases clung to my office, my sanctuary, but even that wasn't safe. One evening, I found a set of unfamiliar keys on my desk, glinting under the fluorescent light. My gut twisted. Something was wrong. I didn't know what, but it was the start of everything unraveling. The pain of his betrayal was coming, and it would break me. It was a Tuesday night, rain hammering Raleigh's streets, when my phone lit up. A tenant, Ms. Carter, her voice shaking, "Matt, some guy's renting my unit online." I never signed up. My heart sank. I pulled up the app she mentioned, and there it was, My Apartments, listed under Jackson's name. He'd been pocketing $2,500 a month. My buildings. My blood and tears. I called him, hands trembling, the cold glow of my phone burning my eyes. "You didn't even notice, bro." "I'm just smarter," Jackson laughed, his voice dripping with arrogance. I froze, tears stinging, my chest tight. I sat in my office, the silence suffocating, rain tapping the window like a funeral drum. On my desk, a faded photo of Mom and Dad stared back, their smiles a ghost. Those buildings were all I had left of them. Now Jackson was stealing that too. Fines could hit $60,000, maybe more. I could lose everything, my legacy, my home, my name. My jaw clenched so hard it hurt. I wanted to scream, to break something, but I just sat there, the weight of his betrayal crushing me. How could my own brother do this? I didn't yell. Didn't cry out. But inside, I was shattering. Jackson's laugh echoed in my head, a blade twisting deeper. I stared at that photo, whispering, "I'm sorry." I'd failed them. But something shifted, a spark of rage, cold and sharp. I wasn't done. Jackson thought he'd won, but he didn't know me. Not really. I'd make him pay, not with fists, but with truth. What I did next changed everything. That night, rage burned through my grief. I couldn't let Jackson destroy Mom and Dad's legacy. In my Raleigh office, the air thick with rain's damp chill, I got to work. My laptop's flicker was my only light as I gathered evidence, screenshots of Jackson's shady listings, tenant emails about unauthorized renters, Ms. Carter's voice still shaking in my head. My hands steadied, each click of the keyboard a vow. I cross-referenced Raleigh's zoning laws, finding Jackson's violations, illegal sublets, no permits. The bitter taste of cold coffee fueled me. This wasn't just revenge, it was justice. I contacted the rental app, flagging Jackson's account with a detailed report. Then, heart pounding, I called Raleigh's zoning board, voice low but firm, submitting an anonymous tip. "Check these listings," I said, reading off Jackson's fake aliases. The officer's pen scratched through the phone, a sound like hope. Every step was calculated, my pain forged into purpose. The hum of my printer spitting out evidence filled the silence, my parents' photo watching from the desk. I whispered, "This is for you." I didn't sleep. My office walls closed in, the weight of what I'd done sinking deep. Would Jackson fight back? Would the board act? My phone stayed dark, but I felt the storm coming. I wasn't the steady brother anymore, the one who took the hits. I'd lit a fuse, and Jackson wouldn't see it until it blew. Staring out at Raleigh's wet streets, I gripped my coffee mug, its warmth a faint comfort. "You'll see, Jackson," I murmured. The truth was my weapon, and I'd aimed it straight at him. What happened next would shake us both. 2 days later, my phone erupted. Jackson's voicemails flooded in, his voice shrill. "Matt, you snitched? You're dead to me." Texts followed, rapid fire, each one uglier. "You jealous loser," he typed. I made that money fair. His entitlement stung, no hint of guilt, just venom. I sat in my Raleigh office, the desk lamp casting shadows, my phone buzzing like a trapped wasp. Outside, sirens wailed faintly, slicing through the humid night. I didn't reply much, just a cold, "You broke the law, Jackson." My restraint wasn't weakness, it was power. He was unraveling, and I was steady. Jackson's panic grew. Another voicemail, "They're auditing my account." My breath caught. Fraud? This was bigger than I'd thought. The glow of Raleigh's streetlights bled through my window, painting my hands in gold. Jackson's world was about to implode, and I'd lit the match. I didn't gloat, didn't cheer. My rage was quiet, a blade honed sharp. The truth was closing in, and Jackson couldn't run. What happened next wasn't just justice, it was a reckoning, one he'd never see coming. Jackson's big night came, a glitzy TikTok live event at a Raleigh rooftop bar, 10,000 viewers watching his real estate empire pitch. I stood in the crowd's shadows, heart pounding, Raleigh's neon skyline pulsing behind me. Jackson strutted on stage, designer jacket gleaming, voice booming, "Invest with me." Then, blue lights flashed. Cops stormed in, Officer Caden at the lead. "Jackson, you're under arrest for fraud," Caden barked. The crowd gasped, phones out, live streams capturing Jackson's face crumpling, his jacket twisting as he was cuffed. My tip had exposed his rental scam and a deeper fraud network. The bar's fairy lights swayed in the humid breeze, their glow mocking Jackson's fall. Influencers whispered, "He's done." Sponsors' logos vanished from the screen, their emails pinging live. Jackson's eyes darted, wild, searching for me. I stayed silent, my breath shallow, the weight of Mom and Dad's legacy steadying me. I didn't need to speak, his ruin spoke for me. The crowd's murmurs grew, a wave of shock and glee. Jackson, the golden boy, was nothing now. My report had unraveled him, his lies laid bare for thousands to see. I felt no joy, just a hollow ache. The Raleigh skyline glittered, indifferent, as Jackson was led away, his shouts drowned by sirens. Viewers' comments flooded the stream. "Fraud? Wow. Karma." My parents' photo flashed in my mind, their smiles soft but proud. I'd protected their dream, not with rage, but with truth. Jackson's empire was dust, his betrayal a public scar. The power had shifted, not with a fist, but with a whisper. What came next would test me, but for now, I stood tall, unseen, unbroken. Jackson's world collapsed. His TikTok empire vanished, sponsors gone, his face plastered on Raleigh news as a fraud. He called, voice cracked, "Matt, help me." I didn't answer. Fines hit him hard, jail time looming. My buildings were safe, but the scars remained. I met tenants, their trust shaken but returning, and updated leases under Raleigh's dawn, the air crisp with oak and hope. My parents' keychain, heavy in my pocket, felt like their nod. I'd saved their dream, but the cost was family. I walked my apartments, the quiet hum of life soothing my ache. Jackson's betrayal taught me, revenge burns, but integrity builds. In America, we fight for what's ours, not with hate, but with truth. I wasn't the shadow anymore. I was Matthew, steady, unbroken. The pain of loss, Mom, Dad, Jackson, carved me, but I chose to stand tall. That's what they'd want. Raleigh's sunrise warmed my face, a promise of peace. I wasn't whole, but I was enough. Now, I walk my Raleigh apartments, tenants' laughter echoing, the oak trees whispering peace. The sunrise paints my buildings gold, Mom and Dad's love alive in every brick. Jackson's betrayal cut deep, but I found strength in truth. Betrayal breaks you, but standing tall rebuilds your soul. I'm not whole, but I'm free. Have you ever fought back after a family betrayal? Share your story below. Subscribe for raw stories like mine, hit that button, join the journey. In America, we rise, not with hate, but with heart. I did. You can too. Keep fighting.